All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to Royal Grown Radio, the living conversation. Thanks for joining us. We are coming from a very special place to myself and many people in the Humboldt community here. Straight from the center of Redway, arguably the center of the universe, the Mateel Community Center, perched on a hillside above the Eel River, looking out at the hillsides, where so many amazing events and so many people have gathered and come together, and where currently they're feeding the community. There's so many wonderful things that the Mateel contributes. And we're sitting here with Tanya, who is one of the managers and original coordinators.
I'm the sponsor manager.
Yeah, been here a long time.
Yeah, I'm so glad you guys made it. I'm excited you're here.
As always, I'm Michael Beck. We got Rick Elliott.
Hey, greetings from Southern Humboldt.
And we're also joined by another special guest from Proper Wellness, Proper Productions, Tara. And we're here to talk about the Summer Arts Festival, another staple of the Southern Humboldt and entire Emerald Triangle community, an event that brings people together like no other, celebrates the arts, the community, gives people an opportunity to connect with the people around them in a very unique way. And we're super excited to have you both here. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us. I appreciate you guys driving all the way down here.
And I guess thanks for having us, because we're in your backyard today.
You came on a beautiful day, and it's exciting. You know, you see the Mateel in full effect. We have Stephen Marley and Skip Marley performing tonight, so it's just busy and bustling and vibrant and doing what we love the most.
You can really feel the vibe. The tour buses pulled up right as we arrived. We saw
it was a little hectic.
We saw it kind of starting to bubble up and erupt, and it's just an indicator of what's going to happen tonight, and does at so many events here.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a beyond sold out show for sure.
It's like the official start of summer, you know, you start having shows like this, especially when you can set it up outside and the sun is shining. I mean, for us coming down from Northern Humboldt, where it feels like the Arctic still, you know, you come down here and instantly start looking at your jeans, like, what was I thinking? I didn't dress correctly. Yeah, I love this place.
And this is the first time we've had a stage right here that I can remember.
Yeah,
or it's been a long time anyway.
I've never seen it out there either.
Yeah, they brought their own stage.
Interesting. That's the Mateel in a nutshell, though. It's constantly changing and moving on and morphing to what's going on. I mean, I've seen the stage and bands play in probably 5 or 6 different places in the Mateel besides the main stage.
Well, this has been utilized for different festivals, country bluegrass event that we used to have in October.
Absolutely. I actually got to see Toots just shortly before he passed. I want to say it was 2019, in this little field right behind us. It wasn't him personally playing right here. He was on the main stage where it was super packed and super hot. So they set up a projector right here with the bar set up over here, and everybody just got to dance in this little patch of grass, and it was perfect.
That was our Reggae Legacy show. So.
Yeah. Oh, Toots, so good.
That was great, and we had Kabaka the night before, and that was a really fun weekend.
You know, there's so much history and vibe here at the Mateel, and we're going to dig into a lot of that a little later on. We've got another guest who's the talent manager.
Our talent manager, Aaron Snodgrass, and he's been involved with the Mateel as I have for a really long time. He's been board member, treasurer, talent manager, who knows what other volunteer capacities he served in.
So in this segment of our episode, we're going to talk mostly about the Summer Arts Festival and kind of the history of its role in the community and some of the groundbreaking things that are happening this year that Tara can fill us in on. It's, you know, kind of the beginning of a new age of some of these events, and a lot of events in California as we begin to be allowed to incorporate cannabis into public events. And I think that's a really cool full circle moment for
I know, what a concept for Southern Humboldt.
Right? Exactly. Now we're allowed to do what we've been doing for 40, 50 years. Awesome.
I know. And instead of doing it all over the festival grounds, we'll probably behind, you know, some sort of fencing into a little area. But still, the fact that it's completely, you know, normalized and accepted, and it's a path forward into, you know, tomorrow where cannabis isn't stigmatized like it's been. It's amazing.
But they still do want it hidden in some capacity. Like there has to be, what's the...
So I said little fence.
Yeah.
Is there a bigger fence?
Well, it's a large area. It's actually a large area where we'll have the village, and it's a beautiful, like, shady old oak grove. Nice. It's got a really large barn, and it actually gives some, like, it's reminding me a lot of Reggae on the River and, like, past experiences with the Mateel and, like, throwing down in a barn and having fun right there on the river and doing dabs with your friends. So we're inviting, so far, I think 90% of the vendors participating are local Humboldt County farmers.
Awesome. Yeah.
And they'll all be, given their place for their booth. They can hang their banners, hang their flags, and throw up and really meet all their consumers, meet even a lot of the farmers we don't have in our store yet. So this is our first time to really experience their flowers in this setting, hosted by the Mateel and Proper Wellness, and just in collaboration with all these great Humboldt County farmers.
I love it. Mateel Center doing what it's always done, is bringing people together.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes, we are so honored for this opportunity with the Mateel to co-host this area. And
what an amazing opportunity to get to know your farmers. We say know your farmer, know who grows your food, know who grows your medicine, and it's no surprise to me that it's the Mateel kind of being the glue to connect the community to that. So it's really cool. And it's at a new site this year. Let's talk a little bit about the history of summer arts, and it's moved around a little bit over the past few years, and with COVID and all that, and we're coming into, kind of a rebirth. So we're at the old Reggae on the River site this year?
We're not at the old Reggae on the River site.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's been a lot of changes.
It's giving vibes is what I mean, is we're in the same area.
We're in the same area. We're the next exit over, but we're not in the old Reggae site.
Okay.
But yeah, summer arts.
Is it an old event site? Has there been past events there? I know there's Redwood Run.
So basically, we know the old Reggae site, and then there's the Northern Nights site, and we're right in between there at County Line Ranch.
Oh, killer. Wow.
Yes, it's all Humboldt side. We don't extend it into Mendocino, but we're really utilizing that Humboldt area.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And so the summer arts started more down in Benbow, correct?
We've been in Benbow historically for a really long time. This is our 45th Summer Arts and Music Festival. And then with COVID, we transitioned to having the event here in the hall last year. And I don't know if you came out. I know that Royal Gold was here in some capacity sponsoring.
Yep.
And so it's totally different. We had all this was covered with vendors. The hall was filled with vendors. There was vendors in this parking lot. And so we kind of just did what we can with the space. But obviously, it was one of those adjustments made for COVID, which was definitely, you know, where it's okay, something's better than nothing.
Yeah.
The community was really hungry for connection and events, and was just happy that something was going on. So then we decided that we needed to grow into, or evolve into just a bigger space. And so we ended up at County Line Ranch, and we're gonna do that this year. And then we'll see how that goes.
And it's only maybe 5-minute drive from the original Benbow location. So you're really in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, and you're right in the center of a huge energetic vortex where the Northern Nights Festival and the Reggae on the River
right in the middle.
been. That's a powerful site down there, right along the river.
Yeah, if you've
Energy's
driven
just
into
flowing.
Northern Nights, you're just continuing to your left.
Okay.
So it's going to be very familiar for the community, I think.
Yeah.
Plus there's parking.
And for those of you who haven't been to this community, this is a great excuse to come up and visit Southern Humboldt, get into the Redwoods.
Yeah, June 18th and 19th.
Yeah, you get an opportunity to connect with the community in a way that you can't just passing through on a random Tuesday. So it's a good thing to put on your calendars, look for in the future, and try and get up here and make an event out of it and meet your farmers, meet your friends, meet your local artisans and craftspeople, and support the community center where all the money is coming back to the community to facilitate these programs of feeding the hungry people and improving education, providing an outlet for people in the community.
Absolutely, and I'll be touching more on that with Aaron.
Yeah,
some of these events too, it's always been nice because being as rural as we are up here, we don't always have access to some of the bigger named entertainers that are roaming the country. A lot of times.
I was just saying that to someone, sorry to interrupt, but isn't it crazy that Stephen Marley is here in the middle of Soham in our little, community center with 8 to 1,200 capacity?
Absolutely.
It's the Marleys have been very consistent and very loyal. Damien played here just a few years ago. He literally was on Saturday Night Live in New York. Then he flew here and then was like in the green room of the Mateel. You know what I mean? Like night and day type of reality.
I saw Wyclef here a few years back, which was amazing. I mean, just an incredible entertainer, and to be able to see him in such a small venue. I don't know what the capacity of the Mateel is inside.
Inside, it's about 800.
Yeah, that's an amazingly intimate audience for somebody like Wyclef, who can rock the biggest stadium. I mean, the guy is such an incredible entertainer.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really interesting when you think about some of these people that typically a small show for them is 10 times as large as the show is here. A small show for them. So, you know, people have these experiences. Oh, I've seen Steven, I've seen the Marleys, I've been at this, 40,000 person event and this and that. This is a whole different level of intimacy and connection with the artist. It's so amazing.
You know, I remember seeing somebody, I can't remember where it was, I think I was on like a drink line somewhere, and somebody was wearing a Wu-Tang Clan t-shirt, and it had their tour dates on the back, and looked like a relatively small tour, but it was all the major cities. I mean, it literally was, New York City, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Chicago, Denver, L.A., San Francisco, and Redway, where they played the Mateel. And I was like, that's incredible.
Sounds like a big place when it's on that list, huh?
Yeah,
if you didn't know Redway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, when people look at it, they're like, Redway, it must be a suburb of LA.
Yeah. Somewhere near Sacramento, maybe. I don't know.
Right.
Well, this is really awesome. And I think I'm excited. Summer Arts, this is the first year with 3 stages. Or is it more than 3?
That would be an Aaron question.
Okay. There are multiple stages.
There's multiple stages, yes. I believe there are 3 official stages.
3 big stages.
Are they larger and similar size as the main? Because the Summer Arts, as far as I remember, I've definitely gone many years. You got the main stage.
Okay.
There's always been
this is Aaron.
Yeah, two or three, and that's where a lot of the local acts and stuff.
Like unique crowd space. So they'll be more far flung. You won't be able to see stage to stage. You'll really have to travel throughout the festival.
Cool.
So it's gonna be larger.
That's great.
Yeah.
So tell me about the inception of the idea of getting Proper down here to work with Summer Arts to do one of the first cannabis events publicly in Humboldt. There's been a couple.
A license,
First license.
Yeah, there's been a lot of events up here. So separately, like our 2 entities and collaboratively now, I've been working on having a cannabis event up here for a long time. It's just really the energies I feel and like our similar trajectories that brought the Mateel and Proper together is that our visions were similar, and the motive and was always contribution to the community and creating these event spaces for these specific brands and licenses in Humboldt before we don't make it through all the licensing, So the vision to have a cannabis event for Proper Wellness has been day one since our retail's opened. Our history is Proper Productions. We really have always been trying to bridge that music, the love of music and love of cannabis here in California, and in a method that everyone can participate and understand. And it's really fun to see it come together. We're like 2 weeks away.
Yeah, it's getting close. Proper started as a sponsor just at other events. And then last year you guys started, was it 2 years ago you started working on Canna Bless Fest? So the
Canna Bless Fest is in the same venue. And just due to COVID and spikes in our local area, we were unable to host it responsibly. We didn't think that it was the best thing to offer the community at the time. So we want to bring Canna Bless Fest when it is safe to invite people into our community. We feel like that time is coming around. So in the future, but during that time, we worked more closely with the Mateel to bring these events collaboratively with all of our resources, with which both Proper and Mateel have many. So it's good to collaborate and build that network.
Yeah, because as far as I know, as a nonprofit community center, I don't think we're obviously able to hold any type of retail sales licensing. We need another party to do that.
Sure.
And they already were working on that project, same site, same style of permitting. And so it was actually really easy to just overlap the two. because it was what you guys were doing at Canada's West Fest too.
And it's all about like shining in your strengths and then helping like your community also shine with their strengths. And one of those like is like some of our core values of Proper is to imagine like the diamond and how it's so multifaceted. And so you can help your fellow diamonds like shine up, you know, turn them to their more strong side and shine the light on that side. So it's really about being collaborative and looking how you can build up with each other and make everyone like their best.
I love it.
It's definitely been a group effort.
Very fitting that it's you guys that are you know helping in this effort. You know, I remember one of the first shows, I want to say it could even be the first show that Proper did with Cypress Hill, right? And I remember it was like maybe the second song, and Be Real is just like, man, so I'm in Humboldt, where's the weed at? And literally it was like a storm of joints and buds and full branches with nugs on it thrown onto the stage. And it was like a comical moment in music entertainment history.
Full branches with nugs. So you gotta just like highlight that.
Amazing. Yeah. I remember seeing something and was like, how did somebody get that in here?
Why did they have that in their pocket?
Right, you had a full branch with
You
nugs
had
on
to like
it.
shove it down your pant leg to get this thing in there. Yeah, it was hilarious.
Oh my God.
But it's really cool, like you said, that these are the two organizations coming together to do it too. I've been in music production, around music production, and watched both Proper and the Mateel and Passion Presents, that's the studio we currently still record the podcast in most of the time. Everyone was still active at the same time doing shows and working with each other, and hey, you're doing something this weekend, I won't do it, I'll book this weekend. And there was an active effort to support each other. Like, yeah, you're producing shows. We're not going to compete. We're going to elevate each other. I'm going to bring something from this genre. You bring something from this genre. Let's stay in different places. And then both interacted here at the Mateel to help support events here. And, you know,